Hi guys, warm wishes to you from my home and my animals to yours for this festive season. This is the time of the year the world is celebrating, but not a great time for us pet parents, is it? Especially if you're in India, you probably have anywhere close to 3 to 5 days of non-stop firecrackers, and we hate it. So I thought this season the best gift BHARCS can give to all of you is to do this short online class on how to help our dogs deal with firecrackers. So I have this set up with a little lamp for you for the festive season. I hope that appeals to you, and let's get started with class. Alright, the first thing that we need to accept is that loud sounds are going to be scary for animals. All animals are wired to react to it and to freak out about it. So, and dogs are known to hear anywhere upwards of 15 times or maybe even more louder than human beings can hear. So you have to expect and accept that they are going to be reacting to these, and they're not going to be perfectly fine. They're not going to go from one day being terrified to next day wanting to burst firecrackers. So that's not going to happen. What we can do, however, is to help them cope. Make it a little bit easier on them and help them cope. First thing, of course, is muffle the sounds for them. Sounds are loud, so we try and muffle it. So shut the doors and windows, thick curtains. If you can put blankets, that helps. Newspapers, stuffing it. Echo chambers like your bathrooms, keep the doors shut. So things like that to muffle the sound. If you have the luxury of being in a floor that's a little higher up, that's a good idea. Don't go lower still. The higher you get, the more muffled the sound is. And of course, company. Guys, they do need somebody to be at home with them. And this time of the year is quite difficult because we also have all these festivities to participate in. So try to find somebody, maybe take turns and somebody be there for them. And if you are going to be hosting the festivities in your house, then of course I don't think I need to tell you this, no firecrackers. Many people ask me if they should be ignoring the dog. Absolutely not. It's just not natural. Reassuring a scared animal is the most natural thing to do. On any other occasion, if there was an animal that came running up to you that was scared, or if there's a child that came running up to you, the natural thing to do is to reassure. So no, you don't have to ignore the dog at all. And dogs are some of those rare animals that do come to you and seek reassurance, and it's perfectly natural and perfectly okay to reassure the dog. But you must be aware of how to do it. Alright, so first thing, only when asked. Reassure only when asked. Some dogs are not going to ask you, and that's okay. They might run away and hide under a bed or under a table or something like that, and that's okay. Don't go and try to pull them out and reassure them. That's not what we're talking about. You could maybe go and stay in the same room as them if they're in the bedroom or something like that and there's enough room for them. But and only if it's making the dog feel better. But do something calm. Don't be constantly interacting with the dog. Maybe read a book or have a cup of tea or something like that. How do they ask for reassurance? So many of them will come up to you, and they might come and sit very close to you with their side or back touching you. Some of them might climb up on your lap and sit with their side or back touching you. And that's a very typical way in which a lot of dogs ask for reassurance. I'm not entirely sure why they do that, but it somewhat makes sense. If you've looked at a lot of wildlife videos, you'll see that when animals get scared, it seems like that's the way they huddle together with their sort of back towards trusted people and their fronts ready. Similarly, movies portray people also acting similarly. If there's a attack that they're waiting to happen and they're huddling and waiting to fight back, they usually huddle like that. So it perhaps is a natural way for them to huddle. I don't know. Whatever it be, many dogs do express it like that, and that's a good time to try and reassure them. Now, how will you not reassure? I've seen a few people get very hysterical themselves. I actually used to be a little like that too. I would actually start crying when I saw my dog feeling so afraid, and people start getting, it's okay, calm down, and they are getting somewhat hysterical themselves. What you're telling your dog, your words don't matter. With you getting hysterical and getting agitated, you're telling the dog that there's something to be worried about, and that's really the wrong message. That's not the message we're trying to give. That's not reassuring, is it? If a child was afraid and the mother herself started crying, or the parents started crying, that won't really be reassuring to a child, would it? A lot of people also tend to hug and hold the dog very tightly and start calming the dog down in a very frenzied way. Again, not a very good idea. Again, think back to those National Geographic videos. If you're huddled, if you feel the need to get into a huddle and ready to defend yourself, being hugged is not particularly going to be a safe thing to do. It can freak them out a lot more. So it's one of the worst times to actually hug the dog. So then what do? Do you also offer your back to the dog? I would imagine not. If they are offering the back to you as a way of huddling, then I'm not so sure that you huddling back is the right response. So what should you be doing, and how should you be saying it? What is the message you're trying to give? There are actually a few different things that you can do and say here to your dog and communicate to your dog. What I'll do is I'll go over one of them today in this video, and then we'll talk about a few additional things like products and oils and things like that. So let's talk about one little body language thing that you can do.